I got very luckily got a physical copy of the Poor Creature album, which if you're watching, you'll see me hold it up to the camera. All Smiles Tonight. It is an absolutely stunning album. So this is the debut from Ruth Clinton from Landless and Cormac Mac Diarmada of Lankum. They formed a musical alliance in 2022, and this album was produced by John Spud Murphy, who has production credits and playing credits in a cacophony of, is that the right word? Cacophony of a litany of albums across Ireland. So it was released on Friday, July 11th via River Lea Records. And they have a roster of names across Ireland that include John Francis Flynn, Ye Vagabonds, and Lisa O'Neill, who's one of my favourites. And they take songs that have existed for centuries and they put a new generational spin on things. Um, there is a video for The Whole Town Knows, which is directed by Ruth and Cormac. And they say that the video was filmed over a number of years, near to and far from our home in the northwest of Ireland, starring ourselves and many friends, both boxy and round, with special thanks to the pigeons of Sligo. I just think that's brilliant. And I think it kind of encapsulates the vibe of the album.
How did it sound in the car ride up to Donegal on a hot day, blaring out of the speakers? Because you're a big fan of CDs, aren't you?
I am, yeah. I have a whole collection of CDs. And I just love, I think music sounds better on a car stereo. I think like it's more of an immersive experience when you're somewhere for an hour or 2 hours and you can put something on and you have to listen start to finish. I think it would have suited the drive down to Dingle at Other Voices. And so I think it's going to be my soundtrack for that because it is a bit more haunting and full bodied and not exactly the like pop music that you want playing out of your car on a sunny Friday afternoon. But I will be keeping it around for December time on the drive to Dingle.
It's the second summer in a row that Ruth Clinton has released an album at the height of summer. Last year, Landless, of which she is one quarter, released their second album. It's called Lyric. So I talked to her last summer, and I talked to the other members of Landless as well for that one. So I'm delighted to maybe make this an annual thing, talking with Ruth, because I've got an interview coming up on the podcast next week with all of Poor Creature, talking through All Smiles Tonight. As you say, what an amazing album. I mean, there's moments of real beauty here, isn't there? Like, I mean, one of the star turns on the last Lankum album was when Cormac took lead vocals on Lord of Boar, and here he takes lead vocals on Laureen, and oh my God, it just melts me. Nothing to do with the heat, Ciara. It's just so beautiful, isn't it? Do you know the track that I'm
It
talking
is.
about?
I do, yeah. I gave the full album like one listen through and I kind of when you're listening to it and they're kind of flowing into each other, so I didn't stop and look at the track names, but um yeah, no, it's just a thing of beauty.
But also Ruth's voice is something
Yeah,
else
it's
as well. And
incredible.
it sounds different on this album than it does with Landless as well, I think. There's shades of Sinead O'Connor in it. I didn't ask her about her influences and stuff. I'm not sure how high up Sinead O'Connor might be, but I think she might mention Enya as well. But she is, as I have said to her and as I have said to other people who know her, she has such an encyclopedic brain and mind to do with Irish music. Literally, I think she is researching like Irish music and trad and folk down through the centuries, and she really puts that all to use on this album. I just think it's an absolutely magnificent album. I think it's one that we're going to be talking about at the end of the year, isn't it, Ciara? Because this just really stands out so much, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be a lasting one. And again, I have a bit of short-term memory when it comes to albums released through the year, but I think this is definitely a standout.
The Whole Town Knows is more of a country song, an American country song, which Ruth and Cormac say that they're quite taken with. It's a cover of a track by Ray Lynham and Philomena Begley. And it just shows that they're not really putting themselves in a corner with what they want Poor Creature to be. Because I don't really remember first when I first heard about Poor Creature. I think that they got a couple of support slots. But then suddenly it was like, oh, they've got an album coming out. I haven't had a chance to see them live yet. I think they played before the summer started and I just wasn't able to go, I think. But they're playing Button Factory on November 27th. They're also supporting Lisa O'Neill in London as well. An interesting, maybe, fact, I don't know, I find it interesting, is that John Dermody, who plays drums on Poor Creature and is brothers with Cormac Mac Diarmada. It's one of those questions that I didn't quite want to ask during the interview. They answered it for me. Are they actually brothers? Because one spells it with an Irish spelling, McDiarmada, and one goes with the English spelling, Dermody. So thankfully, they helped me out on that interview that's coming up next week. But John actually plays drums with Lisa O'Neill, so he might be on double duty in London. So yeah, that's Poor Creature. Anything else you want to say about All Smiles tonight, Ciara?
I just think it's a beautiful album.
It's woozy as well. It's just like
Yeah, it is. It is.
it's kind of haunting too, you know, like the title track goes on for almost 6 minutes and it's very repetitive. And there are a couple of times where I'm like, have I got this song on repeat? But it kind of pulls you in and it kind of discombobulates you. Maybe it's the artwork as well, because the artwork, you've got the CD there next
Yeah.
to you, Ciara, isn't it? It's just kind of odd.
It's like a horse and a rose with an arm, but it looks like it's at the bottom of the sea with a blanket and it's upside down. There's a lot going on. Or like,
Yeah.
yeah, it is. Yeah, no, it's amazing. And I think like it feels like it puts you in a trance a little bit when you're listening to it. You kind of just zone out and well, not while driving, but you know, you kind of zone into it.
You
And
zone
it just
into it.
feels like you're, yeah, yeah, onto the road and into the music.
I think that, I mean, we talked about our favorite albums of the first half of the year a couple of weeks ago, Ciara, and we're talking all albums today. And I think maybe all three of the albums that we mentioned, we might be mentioning come December as well.
Mhm.
But Poor Creature, I think, is pretty much nailed on as the trad folk album of the year. I really need to like figure out my folk and trad stuff. I feel like if anybody who really knows their stuff about that is listening, they're just like, oh my god, he has no idea
What are
what
they
he's
talking
talking about.
about?
Yeah, that's why I talk to Ruth every year now, because she just
Yeah, yeah.
educates me. I look forward
She's like, there's
already.
drones in this, there's pipes, there's two different variations of flute.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, the drone on this record
Mm.
from the very first track is so great too. Just an absolutely superb album from Poor Creature that's released on River Lea